Finally, this girl has stepped on the ground after 738 days. A girl who sat on a tree for 2 years, whether it was wind or storm, hot or cold, rain or snowfall, nothing could dislodge her from the tree. But why? Julia Butterfly Hill was born on February 18, 1974, in the USA. Hill's father was a traveling preacher, so she spent much of her childhood moving around the US. She was given the nickname Butterfly aged 7 when, during a hiking trip, a butterfly landed on her finger and stayed there for the rest of the hike. She's used the nickname since. At the age of 22, Julia suffered from a car crash, which gave her a skull fracture and she lost the ability to speak for 1 year. That incident changed her life. After the accident, she decided to rethink her life and set out to travel and explore the world. A year after the accident, Julia Hill discovered a group of activists protesting against the annihilation of a redwood forest in California. Fascinated by the ancient trees, Julia decided to join the cause and take part in the protest. It was an act that changed the entire course of her life. With her bravery, Julia decided to climb the 1,500-year-old redwood tree, one of the tallest in the forest. She acted with a purpose: to stop the Maxim Corporation from cutting the tree down. Her idea was to draw attention in the international media to the horrible deforestation that was happening there. It was December 10, 1997, when she started climbing the tree. After 1.5 hours, she found a place on the tree. That tree was to be her home for the next 738 days. She carried a bag with her, in which there was also a sleeping bag. She would sleep in it. She also carried a stove with her, on which she made her meal. Whenever her water or food was finished, her friends gave her food and water, which were also part of the protest. She was aware that to get the attention she desired, she would have to break the previous record for tree sitting, which was held at 42 days. After 100 days on the tree, Julia became a media sensation, bringing attention to the old forest that was there before any of us. Julia Hill's fame grew over time, and reporters, politicians, and various celebrities began to approach her. The media wanted to share and spread her narrative, and many people wanted to support her cause. She didn't want to be in the spotlight, but she made it her goal to make people aware about her support for these ancient trees. However, the conditions on the tree weren't great. She had to deal with pressure from the workers of Pacific Lumber, the company responsible for cutting the trees, in addition to the challenging weather and constant wind. According to reports, the workers of the large company frequently harassed and hurt Julia and many of the protesters. Julia was fortunate to have the 200-foot-tall old tree to protect her from the continuous loggers. She was also tormented all day long by the sound of trees snapping and falling. She only had the old redwood tree for companion when she faced the loggers and her loneliness. Since Julia was so close to the tree, she gave it the name Luna. Julia conquered every difficulty while living on the tree for more than 2 years. Although Pacific Lumber was persistent, Julia Hill was more faithful. Strong and brave, she finally put her feet on the ground after 738 days, partially beating the large corporation. They decided to protect Luna and the surrounding trees inside a 200-foot circle. Maxim Corporation agreed to pay Julia and her supporters $50,000 as compensation, which they did. Humboldt State University received the funding to carry out research on sustainable logging. Julia Butterfly Hill is now an acclaimed environmental activist. Julia is also a co-founder of the Circle of Life Foundation, a motivational speaker, and travels around the world to spread her message. Her acts and bravery have been an inspiration for many artists. With poems and songs, Julia said in an interview, "I was leaving the best teacher and friend I've ever had. Also, the person I'd been when I'd gone up and the person I was when I came down were so profoundly different that I wasn't sure how I was going to be able to live in the world again. I hadn't touched the ground for 2 years and 8 days. When I set foot on the earth, there was a lot of emotion. There was an extreme joy because we'd protected the tree and the grove around it, which a lot of people had said was impossible. But there was also sadness. I had become so much a part of that tree, and it had become so much a part of me that I wasn't sure I would fit in with other people. Though I left the tree, it's still so much a part of who I am that I can just close my eyes and be in its branches all over again." For more interesting videos, make sure to subscribe to our channel and click one of these videos. I hope you're gonna love it. Thank you for watching.